Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this episode. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 25,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, you just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences in therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's via text, chat, phone, or video call. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom-picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/thebarn. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/thebarn.
Hello, my name is Jason Lowry.
And I'm Mark Toti.
And this is the Parkland Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in once again, and thanks to everybody who was a part of our big election special this past Tuesday. It turned out even better than I thought it would.
I know, right? We had so many compliments, so many viewers that were tuned in. All in all, the viewers were about 2,000 people.
That's amazing.
I know, right? Almost everybody that voted, unfortunately, which is another subject we'll talk about at another time. But yeah, big thanks to everybody at Election Central, Kevin Engler, Dan Shunks that pitched in and helped out as well. Our camera dude, Sawyer Wampler, did a fantastic job. And then, of course, Kayla Lowry back at Parkland Podcast headquarters, making sure that everybody was happy with the stream.
And everybody that stopped by and got on the mic with us, Carrie Buckley and all the others, we appreciate all the input. Got a lot of good information out about things not necessarily involving the elections, like the walking trail to connect the county. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, we got a lot of comments about that, too. People had never heard about that project before. And, hey, that's what we're all about, man, trying to give you something new that is useful information. So big thanks to, again, everybody at Election Central, and congratulations to all of our winners in the election. In this episode, we're going to visit with Annette Schnabel of Parkland Hospital. We're going to talk about the new expansion, and we're also going to preview a local authors showcase with Julie Powers. We'll talk about a few more summer events. The summer is almost over. Talk some sports, have our song and album picks of the week, and we'll draw another winner for a Save-A-Lot certificate. All this and more coming up now on the Parkland Podcast. Hey, I want to thank all of our sponsors for, again, helping us give you this information every Monday morning when we drop our podcast. Big thank you to Parkland Pharmacy, Nicholson Heating and Air, Discover Farmington, First State Community Bank, Save-A-Lot of the Parkland, John Robinson at Pettis Chrysler Automotive, Subway of the Parkland, Heimberger Construction, and Mineral Area College, all sponsoring this episode of the Parkland Podcast. Mark Toti, do you have a Toti-ly awesome radio story?
I do have a story for us this morning. In fact, I don't know who I was talking to yesterday. They said they loved the stories.
Okay,
so,
good.
That means we got to keep doing them. So thank you very much. Anyway, this goes back about 15 years. It was right around the St. Francis County Fair time. And I was interviewing a lovely young lady by the name of Lainey Sanders, who is now all grown up. I've known her mom for a whole lot of years. Jane, good morning to you. She's the pride and joy of the University of Missouri Extension in St. Francis County. But her daughter was entering an animal in one of the competitions at the fair, and I think it was a pig. I could be wrong about that. But I think it was a pig. Anyway, I had her on the air, and she was talking about all the things she does to get ready for the fair, and I said, describe what it takes to get an animal ready for the St. Francis County Fair. And she says, Well, we get up every morning and we feed it and we water it and we walk it and we pretty much just love on it day and night. And I said, well, and then you get it ready for the sale of champions, right? And she said, yeah. I said, what happens to the animal after it goes to the sale of champions and it gets sold? And she went, one of the few times I pretty much lost it on the air there. So an 11-year-old girl going is not something you see every day. But I loved it.
Haven't we already told this story on the podcast?
If we did it like in episode 1, and I apologize.
I think it was episode 2, because episode 1 was Charlie Daniels, I know for sure.
Yeah, if we did. But I saw Jane this week, and I told her I was going to do that.
It's such a great story. It's such a great story.
Well, Laney, you're a repeat performer.
Yeah.
Checks in the mail. I'll have one we haven't used before next week. I forgot I'd use that.
It's okay. And remember, I have a really good one. I want to talk about what happened to you on 9/11 whenever you opened up the phone lines at J98 and started taking phone calls.
Oh, yeah, we had a lot of really important phone calls because I was on the air till about 12:30, and that's when the other reality of radio set in. So go ahead and let it go.
So 9/11, the attacks have happened, and J98 switches right to the continuous coverage from ABC News, which was the affiliate out of New York and providing all the coverage. About noon, you got on the air.
I'd been on the air all morning. I was still on the air.
Well, you were still, but okay. But at noon, I remember that maybe that's when I got there and finally rolled out of bed. That's probably the case. But anyways, you were like, okay, you laid down a very calming manner, like, hey, we're going to get through this. There's a lot going on, a lot to digest. And then at 12:25, like on the dot, you decided, all right, we're going to open up the phone lines and hear what you think about today's events. And this is how I knew the terrorist hadn't won, because the very first phone call you took, a guy goes, I got a curio cabinet for sale. I'll take about $25 for it. And of course, 12:25 is when the trading post begins.
Yes.
And so that was such a tension breaker, because we were all so, oh my God, the world's under attack. And just that little thing, I think, was the tension breaker that we needed in that newsroom, because I remember that was the most stressful news environment I think I've ever been in.
The Trading Post, saving American lives, making American lives better for 35, 40 years now.
Oh, my. So there you go. You get a bonus. You get 2 totally awesome radio stories. Mineral Area College, mineralarea.edu. You can register now for the fall semester. The classes begin on Monday, August 19th. I don't want to go back to school, but Mineral Area College allows you to go back to school, to take your next step. Mark, you and I have set foot on that college campus so many times to cover so many great events, and right now, one of the most exciting times of the year at MAC.
It really is the start of the fall semester. I've talked with MAC President Joe Gilgore a lot about this over the years. He says it's like the most, other than graduation, it's the most exciting time of the year, because all the kids are excited about being back for class, and the list of class offerings they have at MAC continues to grow. They've got their off-campus locations. They're doing classes in Cape Girardeau, but the thing that's really got them excited now is everything that's happening in the new Industry and Technology Center.
What a great building there at the
huge
entrance, the Leadington side. You can't miss it. They have programs including construction, HVAC and refrigeration, welding, manufacturing, design, drafting, industrial maintenance, CNC machine tool tech, electronics tech, and more. Check them out today, mineralarea.edu. Do you need something built? Do you need some construction? Let me recommend Heimberger Construction. They've been in business since 1978. You can check out all their work on their really well put together website, heimbergerconstruction.com. And they sell Butler buildings because they are the best metal building system on the market. And when we kind of go over some of these places that they've done using these Butler building systems, you go, oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. They're beautiful. The Butler buildings, I don't know what this means. I'm not an architecturalist, but that's not the right word, but we'll go with it.
Close enough.
Close enough. Anyways, they know what they're doing, and this sounds like the right way to go if you're looking to build a building.
And you get the expertise of Jennifer Heimberger. Jenny, thank you for being a part of the Parkland podcast. You will see a Heimberger Construction building in a lot of different places around the area, like Mocap in Park Hills and Farmington, Griffin Automotive in Bonne Terre. And don't take our word for it. Go talk to the folks from Griffin Automotive. Ask them what they think about Heimberger Construction, and they will flat tell you what a great job they did for them. Crown Valley Winery, Paramal Glass, the Veterinary Clinic of the Mineral Area in Farmington. Doc, hope you're doing well. An elephant house. There you go. If you're going to build a house for an elephant, you want to get it right. And they did one at Grant's Farm. You don't want a ticked-off elephant to deal with. But they've done agricultural buildings for the Donzies and Fleegs in St. Genevieve, the Dements in Farmington. They've worked at Procter & Gamble, Monsanto, Unilever, and Anheuser-Busch, to name a few. They have been all over.
And you can see for yourself, HeimbergerConstruction.com. Heimberger Construction, sponsoring the Parkland podcast.
Parkland Pharmacy is out to prove that local independent pharmacy is alive and well. We work hard at giving you an excellent experience every time you come to see us. We love what we do, and we would love to take care of you. There's no need to be frustrated with your health care. If you're tired of what your pharmacy is not doing for you, then stop waiting in line and come see us today. We have 6 locations across Southeast Missouri, so Google us to find the store nearest you or visit parklandrx.com. Parkland Pharmacy is a local pharmacy at its finest.
Let's check local news now on the Parkland podcast. That's presented by First State Community Bank, locally owned, locally operated. Farmington has 3 locations to serve you. They're in downtown, the location at Washington and Karsh, and the Maple Valley Center. They have digital banking, business banking, anything you need to be successful. First State Community Bank, success starts here. Member FDIC, online at fscb.com.
It's the memories made during a weekend with the girls, a family adventure, or a Sunday stroll in historic downtown. At First State Community Bank, we have a strong passion for small business owners and the students and families who live, work, and play here. Our passion for them runs deep because this is our community too. First State Community Bank. Success starts here.
A Potosi couple is facing numerous charges after police found the body of Amy Haug in a wooded area of Washington County in June. According to the probable cause statement, Tony Charbonneau and Brandy Luffy, both of Potosi, allegedly kidnapped Haug after an argument using ratchet straps to tie her hands and feet to a wheelchair. Charbonneau was accused of shooting Haug, who police say was an ex-girlfriend, in the head and burying her body in a shallow grave. Luffy admitted to being a lookout while the shooting took place. The two later threw her purse into a river in Jefferson County. Both are being held in the Washington County Jail on a $1 million cash-only bond. The next hearing in the case, Tuesday, August 13th.
The Washington County Sheriff's Department also investigating the death of a man found near the intersections of Highway 47 and E last month. On July 29th, 30-year-old Jared Ray Exter of Branson was found dead near the intersection. According to the Missouri Department of Corrections, Exter was recently paroled after serving a 7-year sentence. Police have taken into custody 2 people of interest, one of which was in prison with the man. The Deloge Board of Aldermen plan to go ahead with articles of impeachment of the Mayor Pete Pasternak during their next meeting, which happens Monday night at 7 o'clock at City Hall. The hearings are open to the public. Board members first made their intentions public during the June City Council meeting when a 5-1 vote was made to begin the impeachment process. After that meeting, Pasternak was asked to resign but declined.
Also, a little state news to report to you. State Budget Director Dan Haug says 2025 fiscal year-to-date net revenue collections have decreased 7.3% from $898.7 million last year to $833.5 this year. And the Missouri Department of Corrections is implementing full-body scanners for both staff and visitors. They're already in place in Potosi and Bonne Terre prisons, coming to Farmington as of September.
Congratulations to Maddie Irwin, named the 2023-2024 Rotarian of the Year by the St. Francis County Rotary Club. They also presented their annual scholarships to graduating seniors Alexis Jordan of Central and Sophie Rattini of Farmington High School.
Expect mild temperatures to continue this coming week with light rain possible. Highs only reaching the low to mid 80s.
Love the weather.
Not bad at all.
And the new ATM at the Maple Valley Center location of First State Community Bank is now open and ready to serve customers. Again, news brought to you by First State Community Bank with 3 Farmington locations. They're downtown at Washington and Karsh and the Maple Valley Center in Farmington. Digital banking is available for you, easy to use, right on your phone, your computer, or wherever you are. Remember, success starts here. First State Community Bank, member FDIC, online at fscb.com. Save a lot of the Parkland, sponsoring the Parkland podcast, Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, Farmington. I made a new discovery this week, Mark.
Yes?
They are lemon shortbread cookies. Do you like shortbread cookies?
I like cookies.
You like cookies?
I like cookies.
Do you like lemon flavored stuff?
I like cookies.
Okay, so it's
all good.
These shortbread lemon cookies, I couldn't believe it. I got them because my wife's a big shortbread cookies fan. I'm like, oh, lemon, I'll try that. Picked it up like on a Wednesday. Thursday, I find the package. There's one cookie left. I'm like, well, I better try this. Apparently, these are really good. Oh, my gosh. It was so amazing. So look for those lemon shortbread cookies. All kinds of different items, not just, what you're used to seeing at a Save-A-Lot grocery store. They have a lot of higher-end items now, too, that you can try and enjoy. The breadsticks, we had those last night with some spaghetti. They were awesome. Man, Save-A-Lot has so many choices for you.
Something else that I didn't realize about Save-A-Lot until just now, they have their Hometown Heroes Award that they give out. $500 gift cards.
Ooh.
That's pretty cool, I think. So I just love all these different businesses that are a part of the Parkland podcast that give back to the community like that.
Save-A-Lot, Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, Farmington. John Robinson is a fine salesperson at Pettis Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, located between Park Hills and Farmington, right off of Highway 67. John Robinson has a lot of experience, and he really makes the car buying process, which sometimes can be not fun, very enjoyable and very easy.
That's because he knows all aspects of the job. He spent many years as a finance guy and then as a general manager. He's done everything you can do in the car business. I wouldn't be surprised if he told me he's changed oil before or something like that, because he knows everything there is to know about the business. That means he'll find you the best deal, the best financing, the best selection. He knows what's coming in that's going to be hot. He can really take you through the whole process. And something else, he's a lean, mean trivia playing machine. I played in a trivia night one night at the Baptist church, and him and his wife and a few others were on a team, and they cleaned our clocks.
I bet he and Shauna are a good pair. I could see that. They both have a lot of knowledge.
Shauna's got the looks in the family, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry,
701-8002 is John's cell phone number. Give him a call if you have any questions. He has sold literally thousands of vehicles over the years and is ready to put his experience to work for you.
They said it couldn't be done. They said the world would never accept a cookie this long, or pretzel, and probably not a churro. They also said under no circumstances should those really long and delicious treats be wildly affordable. Then we said, but we already made them, and they are. Introducing the incredible new foot-long sidekicks. Get one at Subway today.
Time to check birthdays and anniversaries. They're sponsored by Nicholson Heating and Air. Fast, reliable, and transparent. That's the Nicholson way. Give them a call anytime from anywhere at 756-3599 or go online to callnicholson.com.
Imagine a home where every season feels just right. At Nicholson Heating and Air in Farmington, we turn that dream into your everyday reality. From frosty winters to sizzling summers, our expert team ensures your home stays perfect. Plus, with our easy financing options, comfort is more affordable than ever. Don't wait. Visit callnicholson.com or stop by our Farmington location today. Nicholson Heating and Air, where your comfort is our command.
Mark Toti, who's your birthdays for Monday, August 12th?
We've got some dandies. Happy birthday to my good buddy, Tony Mingwazer, or as I like to say, Tony Mingwaza. Mingwaza-san. Tony Mingwaza. That's from, I do that every year.
And he never gets tired of it, does he?
No, he loves it. He thinks that's funny. Tony Mingwaza. Happy birthday to you from your wife, the lovely and talented Lisa Mingwaza. Your two daughters, your grandkids, your son, and all your buddies. Happy birthday wishes going out to Blaine DeVault. Blaine, I've always told him, looks like he could be the twin brother once removed of Howard Bellamy from the Bellamy Brothers.
Wow.
So happy birthday wishes to you. David Easter from Park Hills. Happy birthday.
Former mayor?
Yeah.
The comic book shop guy.
Mr. Comic Books. And Michelle King, married to the man, the myth, the legend, the judge, Pat King.
Oh.
Michelle King celebrating a birthday on Monday as well.
Happy birthday, Michelle. I got one birthday on the 12th, and that is Annie Morris, Mrs. Morris, Farmington Elementary teacher. Happy birthday to you. Sorry you have to go back to work that day.
Haha. Best wishes.
Tuesday, August 13th, who you have?
Just a couple of birthdays to pass along to you today. Jeff Hines, he is married to my niece, Alicia. Great kid. He's in his mid-30s now. Great guy. He's from the Hannibal area.
Uh-huh.
His younger brother played for the Hannibal team that came to Farmington about 20 years ago and beat them on a very cold November day.
Yes.
For the right to go either to the semifinals or the state championship
semifinals,
game.
yeah.
The semifinals. That was on the same day as the very first Help the Hungry bake sale. We had both things because I did the Help the Hungry bake sale that day, and then I went across the street to Farmington High School, and I was the public address announcer for that football game. It was about 15 degrees. It was freezing cold. I met Jeff's younger brother. He was playing on that team. Happy birthday to you, Jeff. And Kate Taylor. Happy birthday to you, young lady. We hope you are doing good. That's from your husband and all your family.
Wish a happy birthday to David Haggerty, the matriarch of the Haggerty family and the Haggerty Insurance Agency in Park Hills. David, hope you have a great birthday. And Jill Holtzman. I went to school with Jill all the way through from kindergarten through our senior year. Happy birthday, Jill. Hope you have a great day. Wednesday, August 14th. Who are your birthdays?
Hey, our buddy Greg Shin.
Yes.
Thurman Shin, Schweiss and Company. Happy birthday wishes to you. I'm not sure how old Greg is, but I know he's old enough to know better. Speaking of old enough to know better, Phil Horn. Celebrating a birthday on Wednesday. Phil's been involved in law enforcement for a long time, but he's also married to Wendy Wexler Horn, the judge.
Ah, okay.
So, happy birthday wishes to you. Karen Roman, former librarian for the city of Farmington. Happy birthday wishes going out to you.
Did she used to read the stories for the radio hour from the library?
She may have. I don't remember.
Okay, yeah. I think she was one of them, and she always had a great voice.
She's a wonderful person. Yeah. And Mike Abishad, at one time the owner of Mike's Market in Bismarck, celebrating a birthday. That's from your wife, the lovely and talented Paula Abishad, longtime volleyball coach, athletic director at Bismarck. Your son, all your family, happy birthday wishes to you.
I want to wish a happy birthday to former student Savannah Allison. You're awesome. Hope things are going well for you and your young family. The Mac, Michaelan Stokes, another kind of former student. She was never in my class, but she brought a lot of students that were in my class to some of the live streams and always helped out. Happy birthday, the Mac. Retired banker Bob Gehrig with a birthday on Wednesday. Happy birthday, Bob. And one of my favorite people to work with in the media over the years, former Daily Journal editor and reporter Teresa Insera. Happy birthday, Teresa. I talk about her coverage of a certain event in St. Francis County history every year at the beginning of one of my journalism classes. So happy birthday to Teresa.
She really is a nice person.
Yeah, and she's a great writer. How about Thursday, August the 15th? Tell me about some birthdays you have on that day.
Oh, we've got several to pass along. We mentioned Blaine DeVault earlier on. It's Jenny DeVault's birthday. She is the wife of Blaine DeVault, and boy, does she have her work cut out for her, keeping him on the straight and narrow, but she does a very good job of it. Happy birthday to you. Jonathan Brady celebrating a birthday as well. He's with the Jonathan Brady Band.
Yeah.
They've played at Farmington Country Days. They've played at, I think, the county fair a couple of years ago and a lot of other things. He's a great dude and a great musician. And one of my all-time favorite people with a birthday on Thursday, Debbie Peterson. Happy birthday to you, Debbie, from your husband, Chip, your kids, your grandkids. You will not find a nicer person than Debbie Peterson in St. Francis County. When she went to high school, I still hear stories of her athletic prowess. She was a very good track and field athlete.
Very good. Happy birthday Thursday to my friend Alex Huff, accomplished pianist and theater musical person. And I believe I want to say he's in Salt Lake City directing some shows right now. Happy birthday, Alex. Mary Adams, teacher, longtime teacher in the North County School District, celebrating a birthday on Thursday as well. Happy birthday to Mary. How about Friday, August 16th?
Hey, Friday birthdays. We've got to say happy birthday to Evan Robinson. Good kid. He was on the Farmington High School cross-country team, I believe. Mm-hmm. And he's also the son of John Robinson.
Hey, all
one
right.
of our big sponsors.
Yeah.
Evan's a heck of a good kid. Evan, happy birthday wishes going out to you.
He's the youngest, right? The youngest of the...
I believe he's the baby of the family.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Happy birthday to my cousin, Ted Clark. He lives in the Jackson area. For a bunch of years, he owned a little pub down there called Stooges. Now, I think he sold it and he's retired now, but
he had 3 of them at one point.
Yeah, well, actually probably more than 3. But anyway, happy birthday to you, Ted, from your wife, Judy, your kids and grandkids and all your family. Brittany Goldsmith, she is a lean, mean singing machine. She got involved in the Farmington Country Days talent show a bunch of years. She's from that whole family of Goldsmiths that know how to sing and play music.
About to say, isn't her dad, wasn't he the drummer of Medallion, David Goldsmith?
I thought he was the guitar player, but there's so many of them that play music in that family.
They all run together.
I don't know who's the dad, who's the grandpa. They're all talented. Chuck DeLille celebrates a birthday today. If you're old like me and you remember back in the 90s going to a country music pub called The Hole in the Wall in Bonne Terre.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
the Hole in the Wall, yeah, man.
Got into a lot of trouble at the Hole in the Wall over the years. Got to introduce Neil McCoy.
The real McCoy. That's
he
right.
was the
there.
real McCoy, yes. And I introduced that show.
Wow.
Chuck and Benita own that. It's his birthday. And somebody very special to both of us celebrating a birthday, the first lady of Cajun chicken lasagna, Glenda Strawn.
What an amazing cook. Happy birthday, Glenda. Hope you're doing really, really well. Allison Bird of Bird's Eye View, the optometrist in downtown Farmington, celebrating a birthday on Friday. Happy birthday to Allison. And local basketball coach, he was part of that state championship North County baseball team back in 2003. Brandon Bones Robinson with a birthday. I believe he was the coach of the Bunker Lady Eagles last year, but I might be a school behind, and I apologize if I am, Bones, but happy birthday to you.
Before we move on to Saturday, quick note about Glenda Strawn. She was on the Team Turner Chevrolet team for St. Francis County Relay for Life. There were several years where that team was like a gold diamond sponsor. They would raise over $30,000 by themselves for the fight against cancer, and that deserves. There were a lot of great teams involved in that St. Francis County Relay for Life, and they were one of them.
Absolutely. How about Saturday, August 17th?
Oh, gotta say happy birthday birthday to one of my all-time favorite people. She has left us and gone on to Oklahoma State University, but that does not change the fact that she is a totally awesome young lady. Elizabeth Savage, with a birthday on Saturday. You talk about a sweet girl. Mm-hmm. She is the personification of a sweetheart. And happy birthday wishes to you from your mom and dad and your sisters and all your family. She also shares a birthday with her little nephew, Colby Ivy, who calls her Boo Boo. So there you go. Colby is apparently a really great kid. He's turning 3 years old. So I guess that's a happy birthday wish to you, Colby, from Boo Boo and Yaya, your other aunt. But anyway, great family. Mark Savage. I know him very well. He's just a heck of a good guy. So happy birthday to you, Miss Elizabeth. I will miss you at the Farmington Civic Center, but you've already made Oklahoma a better state just by being there. All right, happy birthday to Nick Pathetis. Hope you're doing good, you old man. I almost said young man, but he's not that young. Laura Henson celebrating a birthday Saturday with the St. Francis County Sheriff's Department, the organizer of the Shop with a Cop program.
She does all the hard work.
She does. And then Sheriff Dan comes in and gives the big smile and says it's all good. And Matt Grief celebrating a birthday today. He's a great barbecuer, and he's got like 6 sisters. So, Matt, good luck with that one. Happy birthday to you.
One of the best guitar players and sound people in our area is Mr. Greg Gill. And Greg from Ironton celebrating a birthday on Saturday. Happy birthday, big guy. Hope it's awesome. Saw your performance on the Tippy Joe show from the Stairwell sessions on their podcast last week. And you look like a true rock star, buddy. Happy birthday to you. And Lisa Umfleet, one of the owners of Parkland Pharmacy. She is on the Mineral Area College Board of Directors?
Board of Trustees.
Board of Trustees, sorry. And Lisa, just an all-around great person, and also rolls her sleeves up during fireworks season and gets in and sweats it out with the rest of the family at the fireworks stand. Happy birthday, Lisa.
Now, we normally don't give ages out on our birthdays, but I'm guessing she's about 26.
I think that sounds correct. She would say that's okay, even though she has daughters probably older than that. Happy birthday, Lisa, from Marty and all the kids and those beautiful grandbabies that you have as well. How about Sunday, August 18th?
Jennifer Bloom celebrates a birthday on Sunday.
I loved her on Channel 5. She was great.
She's fantastic. Even better at St. Paul Lutheran Church. She helped to organize the St. Paul School auction one year. Did a fantastic job. Was she the one that had me dress up as a sumo wrestler? I can't remember.
I remember those pictures.
Oh, yeah. That's... I try not to. But anyway, happy birthday to you, Jennifer. I hope you are doing great. Alyssa Snyder Lewis, happy birthday to you, young lady. I hope you are doing great. Saw her at a fundraiser for the Casa House a couple of weeks ago. She's a new mama now. And happy birthday to somebody we both think the world of, Lisa Hammock, celebrating a birthday.
Yeah, Lisa's a very sharp lady, got an awesome family. And happy birthday to you on this Sunday, August 18th. Those are your birthdays, anniversaries. They are brought to you by Nicholson Heating and Air. Fast, reliable, and transparent. That's the Nicholson way. No dispatch fees. Home of the 1-hour appointment, 573-756-3599. Do you need something built? Do you need some construction? Let me recommend Heimberger Construction. They've been in business since 1978. You can check out all their work on their really well put together website, heimbergerconstruction.com. And they sell Butler buildings because they are the best metal building system on the market. And when we kind of go over some of these places that they've done using these Butler building systems, you go, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. They're beautiful. The Butler buildings, I don't know what this means. I'm not an architecturalist, but that's not the right word, but we'll go with it.
Close enough.
Close enough. Anyways, they know what they're doing, and this sounds like the right way to go if you're looking to build a building. And
you get the expertise of Jennifer Heimberger. Jenny, thank you for being a part of the Parkland podcast. You will see a Heimberger Construction built building in a lot of different places around the area, like MoCap in Park Hills and Farmington, Griffin Automotive in Bonne Terre. And don't take our word for it. Go talk to the folks from Griffin Automotive. Ask them what they think about Heimberger Construction, and they will flat tell you what a great job they did for them. Crown Valley Winery, Paramal Glass, the Veterinary Clinic of the Mineral Area in Farmington. Doc, hope you're doing well. An elephant house. There you go. If you're going to build a house for an elephant, you want to get it right. And they did one at Grant's Farm. You don't want a ticked-off elephant to deal with. But they've done agricultural buildings for the Donzies and Fleegs in St. Genevieve, the Dements in Farmington. They've worked at Procter & Gamble, Monsanto, Unilever, and Anheuser-Busch, to name a few. They have been all over.
And you can see for yourself, HeimbergerConstruction.com. Heimberger Construction, sponsoring the Parkland podcast.
It's the memories made during a weekend with the girls, a family adventure, or a Sunday stroll in historic downtown. At First State Community Bank, we have a strong passion for small business owners and the students and families who live, work, and play here. Our passion for them runs deep because this is our community too. First State Community Bank. Success starts here.
Let's check the events page now, presented by Discover Farmington. More than you ever imagined. DiscoverFarmingtonMo.com allows you to find out more about entertainment, dining, outdoor activities, wineries, and more. Find out about local events and even book a wedding or day trip. And of course, DiscoverFarmingtonMo.com has all the information you need about this year's Blues, Brews, and Barbecue on September 20th and 21st.
Farmington, Missouri, your destination for a perfect weekend getaway. Dine in at one of our quality restaurants or visit one of our surrounding wineries. Farmington offers a variety of parks and other recreational leisure time activities. See some sights, have some fun, and go wherever your heart takes you. Sounds like a lot of fun, so get a room and stay a while. All this and more awaits you just 60 miles south of St. Louis. Discover Farmington today.
Mom's Cafe continues to offer up a free meal on Wednesday starting at 5:30 at the Methodist Church in Farmington.
Summer Pokes and Popsicles, presented by the St. Francis County Health Center to get immunizations, is now open through the end of August. Again, if you have kids going into kindergarten, 8th grade, or 12th grade, they are due for shots.
Corey Tinbaum presentation takes place at Long Hall on the 12th. It's free to attend. Corey was a Dutch Christian Holocaust survivor who helped many Jews escape the Nazis during World War II. It's being presented by Gail Haas. Paddle at St. Joe State Park is August 17th, September 14th, and October 12th. It's $5 to participate. You can register at mostateparks.com/learn-to-paddle.
The Loge Labor Day Picnic returns on Friday, August 30th through Monday, September the 2nd.
One of my favorite events, the Hot Dippity Dog, takes place at the Farmington Water Park September 3rd from 5 to 7. It's $5 per dog, with proceeds going to the Farmington Pet Adoption Center.
Check out a 70s party September 6th at 7 o'clock at Four Towns Brewery in Park Hills. This will benefit the Mineral Area Walk to End Alzheimer's.
A kettle beef dinner is September 7th, starting at 4 o'clock, going till about 7 at the Farmington Senior Center.
John Thomas Memorial Scholarship Fundraiser will happen on September the 7th at St. Paul Elementary, and that scholarship benefits St. Paul High School students.
It does, and we have Andy Sherrill. He'll be in to tell us more about that. And don't forget about Blues, Brews, and Barbecue, 3 of my favorite things. Coming up September 20th and 21st, Mojo Rising Blue Moon Blues Band performing on Friday, the Brad Allen Band, Soulard Blues Band, Casimir Taylor's Doc Dixon, Marquise Knox, and Albert Castiglia performing on Saturday.
And again, the events page sponsored by Discover Farmington. More than you've ever imagined. DiscoverFarmingtonMo.com is the place to go to find out about local events and even book a wedding or a day trip. And find out everything you need to know about this year's Blues, Brews, and Barbecue, September 20th and 21st. Save a lot of the Parkland, sponsoring the Parkland podcast, Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, Farmington. I made a new discovery this week, Mark.
Yes?
They are lemon shortbread cookies. Do you like shortbread cookies?
I like cookies.
You like cookies?
I like cookies.
Do you like lemon flavored stuff?
I like cookies.
Okay, so
it's all good.
These shortbread lemon cookies, I couldn't believe it. I got them because my wife's a big shortbread cookies fan. I'm like, oh, lemon, I'll try that. Picked it up like on a Wednesday. Thursday, I find the package. There's one cookie left. I'm like, well, I better try this. Apparently, these are really good. Oh, my gosh. It was so amazing. So look for those lemon shortbread cookies. All kinds of different items, not just, what you're used to seeing at a Save-A-Lot grocery store. They have a lot of higher-end items now, too, that you can try and enjoy. The breadsticks, we had those last night with some spaghetti. They were awesome. Man, Save-A-Lot has so many choices for you.
Something else that I didn't realize about Save-A-Lot until just now, they have their Hometown Heroes Award that they give out. $500 gift cards.
Ooh.
That's pretty cool, I think. So I just love all these different businesses that are a part of the Parkland podcast that give back to the community like that.
Save-A-Lot, Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, Farmington. John Robinson is a fine salesperson at Pettis Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, located between Park Hills and Farmington, right off of Highway 67. John Robinson has a lot of experience, and he really makes the car buying process, which sometimes can be not fun, very enjoyable and very easy.
That's because he knows all aspects of the job. He spent many years as a finance guy and then as a general manager. He's done everything you can do in the car business. I wouldn't be surprised if he told me he's changed oil before or something like that, because he knows everything there is to know about the business. That means he'll find you the best deal, the best financing, the best selection. He knows what's coming in that's going to be hot. He can really take you through the whole process. And something else, he's a lean, mean trivia playing machine. I played in a trivia night one night at the Baptist church, and him and his wife and a few others were on a team, and they cleaned our clocks.
I bet he and Shauna are a good pair. I could see that. They both have a lot of knowledge.
Shauna's got the looks in the family, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry,
701-8002 is John's cell phone number. Give him a call if you have any questions. He has sold literally thousands of vehicles over the years and is ready to put his experience to work for you.
Farmington, Missouri, your destination for a perfect weekend getaway. Dine in at one of our quality restaurants or visit one of our surrounding wineries. Farmington offers a variety of parks and other recreational leisure time activities. See some sights, have some fun, and go wherever your heart takes you. Sounds like a lot of fun, so get a room and stay a while. All this and more awaits you just 60 miles south of St. Louis. Discover Farmington today.
We're back on the Parkland podcast, and we're joined now by Annette Schnabel. She's the president of Parkland Health Center, and wow, what a busy time to have the job that you have right now with so much going on. But we thank you, first off, for taking some time to join us here at the barn.
I appreciate it. So when they told me I was coming to the barn, I said, hey, I grew up on a dairy farm. Feels like I'm coming home, but now that I'm in here, maybe not so much.
You're expanding your horizons, right?
Yeah. So a lot of construction, a lot of work going on. We'll start with the Farmington campus.
Yes.
Tell us what's happening and kind of the timelines of these projects.
My gosh, we do have a lot going on. So the first one, which you'll all been watching, I'm sure, as it's been going up, is our new medical office building. So this actually will be live with patients on October 7th. So to celebrate that, we are going to have an open house there. On September 30th, it's going to start at 11 and go to about 2. It'll include tours. We're planning to have food trucks, a little ribbon cutting, a little music, all kinds of stuff. They've got quite the party going. So currently we have about 12 primary care providers. This building will allow us to go up to 20 plus 23, 24. So we are already started recruiting to be able to fill the building. So we have some providers that'll be joining us over the next year as well as next year and then beyond that, because we really recognize the need for primary care services in our community. It's one of the access needs we have. So this is part of fulfilling that. So that's the phase one of everything that's happening. And that's really, you talk about dominoes. You need to pull something out to make something else happen. So in our current medical office building, we are going to make space then for some additional specialists that we're recruiting. So we're working on several of those, and more to come on those announcements. Pretty excited about the work that's happening with that. We did have a cardiology group join us last year, and we'll actually be announcing some new space for them coming up soon as well. So we got more happening with that. But other parts of the dominoes right now, we have construction happening within our radiology department. We're creating a women's imaging center within that. So there'll be a distinct waiting area, et cetera, for mammography services, women's ultrasound, DEXA scan, and then with the mammography, we're actually adding a second mammography unit, including stereotactic breast biopsy. So that's something that's not currently available in our community. So when they do the mammography and they find some things, they need to do small biopsies, we'll be able to do that locally. Right now, we have to send them to the city to have that done. So we are excited to be able to make sure that we're caring for our community in our community. So
I'm glad you said that, because to me, one of the real pluses of this is healthcare that you may have had to send somebody to St. Louis or Cape Girardeau to. They can stay right here at home.
Yes, that is our goal. That's what we're focusing on, is what are the things we can do to be able to keep caring for our community members in our community. Last year, we added neurology services. So that has actually both outpatient and inpatient, and that has definitely allowed us to keep more people local and not have to transfer for that service. Now, if you're getting a major stroke, we still may send you, but because if you have to have we can do the clot busting drug here locally, but if they need additional services beyond that, we may still have to send you for that. But there's a lot of the neurology services we can do right here now at Parkland.
Now, is that all that's happening? I mean, that was such a long list, and I mean, I don't think that. What else is going on?
So, actually, in order to be able to do any more space within our building, we actually have to add on to our plant. And when we call our plant, that means our generator, our
Is your power source,
the power source, the electrical power source, all that, those components. So we're actually currently in the phase of getting that designed out now. So that'll be, and then after that, our next one is some more cardiac space within the building so our cardiac cath services is in shared space with radiology right now, and we need to separate that out. As we got started, we needed to, just get it started, and that was space we could use to initiate it. But now we've grown so much, we need more space. We need that plant done first, so that'll be next. And then after that, we got some more areas that we're working on as well. You're going to continue to see us grow over the next several years as we increase that space. So, and then I mentioned earlier the announcement on the cardiology services outpatient. You're going to see that coming up soon as well, an announcement on that.
General practitioners are wonderful, but you've talked several times in the past about bringing more specialists into the local area. Why is it important to have those specialists?
Sure. So the local, your primary care providers are really the starting point of everything. They know you, they understand you, they are the one that's doing your regular checkups and stuff. But when you need something special, a procedure or something like that, we need to get a specialist involved. So right now we have 4 general surgeons. That's, very important to our community. I mentioned the neurologists and the cardiologists. There's local orthopedists. There is local ENT. Not all that is Parkland provided, but it's part of our collaboration that we do. Earlier this year, we did acquire the surgery center and added it to the hospital. It's now we call it the surgery annex. And those providers work there. We have local ophthalmologists that work there. So we are truly trying to not only provide the service ourselves, but collaborate with other providers within our community to ensure that, again, we're caring for the community in our community.
What is happening in the Bonne Terre location? It's not just all in Farmington, is it?
No, it's not. So in Bonne Terre, we actually recently transitioned that hospital to be what's called Rural Emergency Hospital. And in that, we are actually the first in the state of Missouri, only one of 22 in the United States completely, that has been able to get to that designation. That designation allows us to increase our focus on our emergency services at that site, as well as some outpatient services. So what we're doing right now now is we are trying to enhance the emergency services there. We have additional space, and we actually have a plan also to create more space there. And then from an outpatient services, we do X-ray, we do CT, we do lab there. We have a full clinic there as well, and we are working to bring some more primary care providers to that clinic as well. So we're in the process of recruiting for that. We have a couple of candidates to get that moving along as well. With that, we're upgrading our CT to a higher service level as well. So definitely making improvements and changes at Bonne Terre too.
Before we get into some special events that are coming up that I know you wanted to plug, I know you want to give a shout out to the employees at Parkland Health Center because they've had to put up with construction and maybe being overcrowded.
Yeah.
But also I've had a couple procedures done over the past year, and it just really amazed me how caring the people are at Parkland Health Center.
I have to just echo that, Mark. They are truly, truly compassionate people. I just feel like people don't understand how compassionate they are sometimes because they deal with so much. There's a lot of stress put on them, but at the same time, they are truly caring for our patients, trying to have that compassion and making sure that they're caring for what the patient wants and needs, not just what they feel. And, so it's really about communication. Really, they do a tremendous job about that.
Now, I know when we talk to people in all professions right now, they all say it's tough to find good people to come to work with us. And with all this expansion, with all the work that is happening, I'm assuming that's probably the same in the healthcare field, right?
It is definitely the same in the healthcare field. We are a national shortage for many of our healthcare providers. We're doing pretty well at Parkland. We have some openings, but we've been pretty steadily recruiting into them. We still, during the COVID pandemic, you heard all about the agency nursing, the travel nurses. We have had them within our facility, and we actually have a few still. The fun thing for me is we talk about compassion. We've actually had several of them choose to stay with us. They had traveled across the country, and then they said, this is really a great place to work. We have great leaders here. And when I say great leaders, I'm talking about my ED leaders, people like that, not about me. I'm talking about them because that's who they work with every day. And just to say, I'm going to stop traveling and settle in Farmington. We have someone right now moving from Texas with their family to stay a part of Parkland. To me, that just tells you so much about the teamwork that's going on there.
By the way, you mentioned the COVID pandemic. I keep hearing that COVID may be making a bit of a comeback in the summer.
Yeah, so throughout the pandemic, we actually saw surges during the summer, which you typically think about winter surges, but this is one that actually had summer surges. And so we are in currently a summer surge. Fortunately, nothing like what we have experienced the last several years, but there still is a slight surge. And with that, we have had a little bit of increased what we call enhanced masking, enhanced surveillance in our inpatient units. So currently my staff are masking. So when you come to our inpatient unit, you will see them masked. We're in a 2-week period to do that. What we do is we monitor what's the volume, how much is going on. And if it looks good at the end of the 2 weeks, we'll stop that enhanced masking. Now, anytime someone though needs, if someone is actively sick with COVID, we will be masking the room no matter what, not just during this enhanced masking time.
Got a lot of big events coming up that we wanted to help you promote. You mentioned the ribbon cutting coming up on the 30th, but there's a couple of other things you wanted to tell folks about too.
Yeah, so we're excited about the ribbon cutting. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have music and tours and all kinds of things. But before that, on September 12th, we're going to be having a health fair. It's called Road Maps to Health. So helping people to figure out their pathway to good health. As I said, for September 12th at the Centene Center. We are going to kick off the morning with an opening welcome. We'll have speakers throughout the day. There'll be opportunity to get some of your blood testing done, your health screening done. Their lunch is provided, so we are actually asking people to RSVP just because we need to know how many lunches to provide for. Otherwise, it's a free event. We're excited to have it. They're going to talk to us about some women's health. They're going to talk about about our cardiac health a little bit. They're going to talk a little bit about how important it is to set yourself up for healthcare success. And we're also going to have a session at the end about hearing the voice of our community. So we're going to ask our community to tell us a few things about what their thoughts are on health and our opportunities. So that is September 12th. Like I said, it starts at 9:30 a.m. at the Centene Center.
And in October, for folks that like to tee it up?
October, we've got our foundation golf outing, October 11th. Now, this year, we're a little bit earlier. We're starting at 9 a.m., and we're starting again with our helicopter ball drop. That's the fun time. It's been pretty exciting for the people who've won that, but it's a lot of fun just to watch the helicopter come in and hover and then drop all those balls and figure out the one that got closest to the tee.
Very, very cool. If people have questions about those events, or let's say they need to find a new primary care physician or any kind of healthcare needs, what are some resources? What's the best way to find out more about Parkland Health Center?
So if you want to find out more in general, our website is a super site for us, parklandhealthcenter.org. It is a connection to the BJC, so when you're on our site, you can connect in to get on to the BJC site as well. But we have what's called Find a Doc, and so you can put in there where if you're living here in Farmington versus Bontier, you put in your zip code. You can even put in the type, or if you're looking for a family practice physician, if you're looking for an internal medicine, or if you want an OBGYN, whatever it is you want, you just put it in there and they'll give you the names of who it is that are available to work with you here locally. So that's your Find a Doc process. As far as specifics about the roadmaps to health or the ribbon cutting or the foundation, Holly Ledbetter is our community relations person, so that would be your contact person. You can email her, holly.ledbetter@bjc.org, and so that's how you can get a hold of us.
By the way, shout out to Dr. Deere, my primary care physician. But there's a lot of history where you put the expansion in a new building. There's a lot of history there, and I know you wanted to pay tribute to that, not just bring in the new stuff.
Yes. So we've got a couple ways we're paying tribute to that. So as you're aware, the Harrison family was the original owners of the property that we have, and Dr. Oliver was the initiating founder of our hospital at Farmington. And so the park area, where there's the creek that runs through it, we have actually just commemorated that as the Parkland Harrison Park. So it's community or commemorative park. Sorry, it's PHC, just like Parkland Health Center. We're trying to be creative here and thinking,
good job,
so
marketing.
PHC park there, and we're going to be working on a walking path there, and we're actually doing some things with the Boy Scouts that I think is going to end up being interesting. And they're planning it, so I'm not going to say anything until they give me their final plan on what it's going to look like. But there's going to be some interesting things I think come up in that park area.
Wow.
So like I said, yeah, that whole area. And actually within the new medical office building, there should be pictures of the old barn.
Neat.
Yes.
Neat.
So we're going to,
so cool.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Very, very neat. Annette, thanks so much for coming in. Yeah. So much going on. You're super busy, but this is really great news for the Parkland because we all benefit when we have better health care.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for letting me come talk about it. I can always talk about what we're doing at Parkland because we got a lot going on.
Well, I'm sure we'll have you back before the year's out.
Absolutely.
I'd be happy to come back.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Annette.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right, Annette Schnabel, president of Parkland Health Center, joining us here on the Parkland Podcast. We love First State Community Bank, the friendly first. They're online at fscb.com. They have locations in downtown Farmington. They have the location at the corner of Karsh and Washington. And, of course, they're at the Maple Valley Center in Farmington. We both bank there. We have our Parkland Podcast business account there. I also have my health services savings account there, which, by the way, I need to make sure I remember to update that information to Farmington High School this year. But anyways, First State Community Bank handles all those different options. And basically, if it is something you need in the world of finances, they have a tool to help you do it.
They have great services available for you, but something I really like about First State Community Bank, when I walk in there, I feel welcome. I have people tell me hello. People be walking by. They've got 15,000 things they're trying to do, but they'll take the time to stop and say, hey, how you doing? How's your day? And I love that. It's kind of like what we were saying earlier on. I don't want to feel like I'm just a number.
Yeah.
I'm giving you my money and you're taking care of it and you do a great job. But if you act like I really matter to you, that means a lot to me, and that's what you get at First State Community Bank.
First State Community Bank, success starts here. Member FDIC. Find them online at fscb.com. Nicholson Heating and Air. Fast, reliable, and transparent. That's the Nicholson way. Call nicholson.com. Mark had a friend of a family member who listens to the podcast have their air conditioning go out a couple of weeks ago, and they thought, I keep hearing about this Nicholson place on the podcast. I'm going to give them a call. They did. Nicholson got out there in under an hour. They found the problem, and once they found the right part for that specific unit, they had to do a little bit of digging. They found it, they fixed it, and they made it through a very tough part of the summer with great air conditioning thanks to their awesome service.
Going the extra mile, that could be the slogan of Nicholson Heating and Cooling, and not just with their jobs, but with how they approach community involvement, because they don't just put their name behind something. They put their time, their talent, and man hours into it too. I just love, as somebody that gets involved in a lot of things, which we both do, it's great to see other businesses do the same thing, and Nicholson Heating and Air, well, they're a great example of that.
They are. Make sure you're following them on Facebook, too. They got a lot of fun promotions they like to do, very active on the social media, and I would encourage you to do that as well. Check out the Premier Club membership. Great way to save money should those unexpected heating and cooling needs happen. And again, I'm sure they can check your system as we start to transition, maybe hopefully to some cooler weather. Nicholson Heated and Air. Call nicholson.com.
Hi folks, John Robinson here at Pettis Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Supercenter right here in Farmington. You know, I want to take a minute here to invite everybody out. My role has kind of switched. I decided to take on a new role, 33 years in the car business and management, and I'm kind of stepping back a little bit, but what I'm doing is I'm helping. I want to serve all the people that come in and ask for me. I'll handle the whole process from A to Z right here. So no running back and forth. It's going to be easy. We've got just about anything that anybody is looking for, and if we don't have it in a vehicle, I'll get it. I'll find it. So my cell phone is 573-701-8002. You can call me or text me at any time. I'll promptly respond 7 days a week, 24/7 if I'm awake. So just come on out and see me. I'll be glad to help you. It'll be my privilege to serve you. Put all my years of experience to work for you. So come on out once again. Pettis Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Supercenter, Fairgrounds exit just north of Farmington.
Ready to roll up your sleeves and dive into a hands-on career? Mineral Area College is ready for you. Their Mac Tech Industry and Technology programs are all about getting to work and making things happen. Whether you thrive on fixing, building, or just plain problem solving, they've got a program for you. Welding, HVAC, auto tech, construction, and more. You'll gain the practical skills and real-world experience needed to thrive in today's job market. Take the first step to a fulfilling career in a Mac Tech program. Apply today at mineralarea.edu. Time to talk books on the Parkland podcast, and a really cool event coming to the Farmington Public Library this Saturday at 11 a.m. Local authors having a panel discussion about some great reading material, and we have the organizer of the event and author herself in her own right, and not just a writer. She does all kinds of stuff, very big into helping people stay fit. I mean, look what she's she's done with Mark Toti. When Mark first started coming under her guidance, he was much larger, and now he's a lean, mean working out machine, as he likes to say.
She's done so well with me. Hard to believe. I'm 97 years old. Look at what she's done for me, right?
Mark should take all the credit for improving himself. You know, it's an individual decision to make those steps.
Julie Powers is with us. Julie, thanks so much for joining us on the Parkland Podcast.
I'm so excited to be here in this super cool studio.
Well, thanks for coming. And you have a super cool event. Again, this is happening at the Farmington Public Library on Saturday, starting at 11 a.m., a local authors panel discussion. How did this event come up on your radar, and tell us what it was like putting it together?
Sure. Well, so I co-wrote a book. I didn't write the whole thing myself. And when I took it to the library, one of the hard copies, someone had asked me to be sure to put one in the library. So when I took it in there in the winter, they said, "Are you going to come and do a book signing for us?" And I said, "Well, what does that entail?" And they said, "Well, usually if we have a local author, they'll come in and set up a table in the library and sit there." And I said, wow, that just doesn't sound like a super fun way to spend the day, hoping that somebody will just wander in and find me sitting there. I said, can we make it a group effort? Can we have more of a collaborative effort? Because there are a lot of local authors that people don't even know about. And so I put out this call on Facebook, and I'm like, who are the local authors? And I had a lot of people send me messages, and I said, they really need to be either living here in St. Francis County or were living here when they wrote the book. And so that's kind of how I started with finding people. And then I sent out a bunch of messages, and I said, here's what I'd like to do. And talking with the librarian and kind of putting this together was, first of all, how did the books come about that each author wrote? What are their genres? You know, how, did they self-publish? Did they work with another publishing company? What's the process? And what are their books about? And so I found 4 other authors who were available on the day, that it was going to be. Right. And besides them, there are so many other authors in our area. And so these aren't the only ones, everybody. There's a lot of people around here that are very talented writers. And I'm just a co-author of a book that I have a really long chapter in. And these people have written entire books. And so I said, let's do this where we can get together and explain the process. It might inspire someone to, do that writing that they've always wanted to do, maybe publish their own book, or, learn to support people writing their books, because I believe all books are important, and all of them should be available to people. But, and this is just one of the ways that we're going to kind of get that word out.
Now, the discussion will take place at 11 o'clock Saturday at the Farmington Public Library. Julie, give us a rundown of all the authors that'll be there and just a quick description of their books.
You bet. So my book, like I said, is I'm a collaborative effort book, and mine is Dancing Through Darkness, Stories of Healing and Light. And so it is a group of 6 women who came together to write a nonfiction book. It's all very personal stories about triumph over tragedy and, walking through the darkness and getting to the other side and dancing through that is how we decided to call it. And mine is about my daughter, Emma, and she died when she was 3 months old and came back to life. She was revived, but suffered a traumatic brain injury. And so she required 24-hour medical care for her 8.5 years that she was with us. And so it's this little bit of her life and then my life afterwards, after she died in 2007. And, some twists and turns along the way. Then we have, my co-authors wrote about their own tragedies and triumphs with heart disease and, a lot of abuse and grief and a lot of things that they've come out on the other side. So I think that in my book, there's something for everyone, mostly women, but a lot of men have also read the book. And so that's good. And then we have Amy Welker. A lot of people know her by Amy Welker, but she goes by Amy Cavell as her writer's name, her author's name.
Fellow podcaster.
Yes. And her book is Small Hinges Move Big Doors. And her book was an Amazon bestseller when she released it, and that was in her category in 2023. I've known Amy a long time. She used to come to Zumba classes before she got super crazy busy. She is the founder and director of Small Hinges Ministries. And of course, hopefully everybody knows that she and her husband are working on this Big Door Coffee House in Deloge.
Delicious. We had their coffee, by the way.
I'm not a coffee drinker, so I know it's going to do really well, and that opens in October. And then Sherry Lynn Howard is the president of the Parkland Writers Circle. And she's bringing her vice president, Mia Gowan.
Love Mia Gowan.
Yeah, she's such a sweetie, isn't she?
Yes.
So Sherry Lynn Howard is what her author name is, and she writes adult fiction, and she's written 4 self-published books, Blurred Lines, Flat Lines, Bloodlines, and Destined Lines, and they all kind of dive into this complexity of contemporary life, addressing social issues, and a lot of compelling narratives. She's very dedicated to all literature, and she and Mia are going to talk a little bit about the Parkland Writer Circle. Michael Kurtz, I'm sure you guys know Mike. He is a retired police officer, and he wrote a book called The Image, and it's a book about his life as a child that was like crazy, full of murder and deceit and abuse, and how he got through all of that through his faith. And then Cheyenne Lael is the author's name. Her real name is Cheyenne Mell, and she is a USA Today bestselling author and a Carol Award semifinalist, and she writes inspirational cozy mysteries. And so her books are Honeybees and Legacies, and actually I didn't write the other one down. What is it? I think I put it on your notes there.
To Heal a Heart.
And To Heal a Heart,
okay.
Yes. So there, there's a group here, and we're going to do our thing and talk about how we each got started, and then we'll sit there from 12 to 3 and sign books for anybody who wants to. If they already have a copy of a book, we got the TV going.
Commercial came on out of the blue.
Yeah, if they have a copy of one of our books, then they can bring it in and we'll sign it, and we have these little stickers that we're going to put in it. If they want to buy a copy of Amy's book or Mike's book, they'll have them there, and the library said that we can sell them that day during that event, or you can order them online.
Wow, that's great. Again, this is happening at the Farmington Public Library on Saturday, 11 o'clock in the morning, local authors panel discussion. When you go to the Farmington Public Library, what do you like to look at? What do you like to read?
You know what? I love going into the library and just hanging out for a little while, because what I love is the kids section, because there's always kids in there. They're always looking at the different books, and they're doing activities all the time. One time I was out there just, during the summer when they had summer school, and there was a whole group of kids in the parking lot doing chalk art with the art teacher, and Kim was doing the class. And there's just such a great feel in there, and I can wander around and pull stuff out and like, I didn't know that was here,
Did you know there's a time capsule?
No.
At the library?
I did not.
Right there in the middle of the library. I was there the day they sealed it. Farmington mayor at the time, Mitt Landrum, they buried a bunch of stuff in there, and I think they're going to take it out in 25 years.
Okay.
So you might be around for that. You're young enough. I don't know about me.
Mark, you keep taking care of yourself, and you've got a long way to go. You've got a long way to go.
But this is going to be a great event, and really, you just need people to come by. It's the middle of August. It's going to be 100 degrees, so get in the air conditioning and hear about these wonderful books.
Yeah, well, the panel discussion will probably last less than an hour. I mean, it's who knows, 45 minutes to an hour. And then the rest of the day is just super casual. You don't have to pay anything. It's open to the public. It's open to all ages. Just go to that community room. So if you go in the main door of the library and you turn left, you go down the hallway past the bathrooms. It's the big room on the right, not the small conference room on the left.
Okay, that's where the United Way grant checks were
same exact place. Yes,
excellent. So if you watch that video, well, you can't really tell, but it's happening on Saturday again, starting at 11 o'clock in the morning. Anything else we need to add about this event before we let you go?
I don't know. What I'm hoping is that the other authors that are out there will somehow connect with each other, and they will have another panel discussion with another group of authors, and maybe this can become a semi-regular event at the library to bring more awareness to who are our people around here who have actually done this. A lot of people, they have this dream of writing a book or being part of a book, and they don't do it for some reason. And so what we're hoping is that they'll hear how one of us was able to do what we did, and they'll go, I can do that too. I can get my story out there, because every story matters. Every story matters. Every person matters. Every story that we've encountered in our lives. So, yeah.
Julie, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it so much.
Julie Powers joining us here on the Parkland podcast. Again, coming up Saturday, 11 o'clock in the morning, local authors panel discussion. These are authors that are from the Farmington area or wrote these books in the Farmington area, and a wide array to capture your interests with different types of stories and different types of authors. We'll be there to visit with you. Again, totally free event happening this Saturday. We pride ourselves here at the Parkland Podcast in providing you up-to-date information about community events and things happening around the area. Where do we get that information? Well, most of it comes from Discover Farmington and Kristen White. What a great resource, and you can use it too. DiscoverFarmingtonMo.com allows you to find out about entertainment, dining, outdoor activities, wineries, and more. What a great way to promote all the awesomeness we have in the Parkland.
We love Kristen White. We think she is fabulous. And she also gave us the music schedule for Blues, Brews, and Barbecue. Hard to believe they're calling it the 7th annual Blues, Brews, and Barbecue in downtown Farmington. Mojo Rising and the Blue Moon Blues Band will be performing on Friday. On Saturday, the Brad Allen Band will kick things off bright and early at 11:30, followed by the Soulard Blues Band, the Casimir Taylors, Doc Dixon, Marquise Knox, and Albert Castiglia. But there is going to be great beer vendors, food trucks, a big barbecue contest, so many things going on. Definitely go to discoverfarmingtonmo.com to find out more.
You can book a wedding, a day trip. Everything is there at your fingertips. Again, that website, discoverfarmingtonmo.com. Check it out today. Save a lot of the Parkland, sponsoring the Parkland podcast, Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, Farmington. I made a new discovery this week, Mark.
Yes?
They are lemon shortbread cookies. Do you like shortbread cookies?
I like cookies.
You like cookies?
I like cookies.
Do you like lemon flavored stuff?
I like cookies.
Okay, so it's
all good.
These shortbread lemon cookies, I couldn't believe it. I got them because my wife's a big shortbread cookies fan. I'm like, oh, lemon, I'll try that. Picked it up like on a Wednesday. Thursday, I find the package. There's one cookie left. I'm like, well, I better try this. Apparently, these are really good. Oh, my gosh. It was so amazing. So look for those lemon shortbread cookies. All kinds of different items, not just, what you're used to seeing at a Save-A-Lot grocery store. They have a lot of higher-end items now, too, that you can try and enjoy. The breadsticks, we had those last night with some spaghetti. They were awesome. Man, Save-A-Lot has so many choices for you.
Something else that I didn't realize about Save-A-Lot until just now, they have their Hometown Heroes Award that they give out. $500 gift cards.
Ooh.
That's pretty cool, I think. So I just love all these different businesses that are a part of the Parkland podcast that give back to the community like that.
Save-A-Lot, Bonne Terre, DeSoto, Potosi, Park Hills, Farmington.
Imagine a home where every season feels just right. At Nicholson Heating and Air in Farmington, we turn that dream into your everyday reality. From frosty winters to sizzling summers, Our expert team ensures your home stays perfect. Plus, with our easy financing options, comfort is more affordable than ever. Don't wait. Visit callnicholson.com or stop by our Farmington location today. Nicholson Heating and Air, where your comfort is our command.
Let's check some sports now on the Parkland podcast, and play continues for the Mineral Area 10 and under Bulldogs. They're in Indiana in the 10 and under World Series. We wish the best of luck to this team, and we'll let you know how they did coming up on the next episode of the Parkland podcast. We keep talking about the Cardinals. They make the trade. They win 2 games. Then they go to Chicago, and then they play a game against the Mets that they desperately needed. I believe that was like a reschedule game. They bombed that. But then they go and sweep Tampa Bay. What's going on?
Well, I tell you what, I've got freedom as a podcaster I didn't have as a radio guy, and I've been a supporter of the Cardinals coach for the past 3 years, but if we can't do any better, because I think actually they made some good pickups, some good trades. Tommy Pham, this new pitcher they got, he pitched very well in his first outing as a Cardinal, but if the Cardinals just struggle around 500 by the end of this year, this will be the end of the Ali Marmol era.
I agree with that. It seems like John Mozeliak, the way he speaks, is doing one more year and then is turning the reins over. Do you think that if they decide to axe Marmol, that they'll go ahead and I don't think they're going to fire Mozeliak. I think they're just going to let him kind of fade into retirement, so to speak. Do you think if they axe the manager now, the GM goes too, and then 2 new guys start together? How would you do it?
That's a good question. I wish I had a good answer.
There's about 3 questions in there, too. I'm sorry.
I think they'll let him hang around one more year kind of as a lifetime achievement, but I know he'll want to go out with a bang, so I am sure he'll make some big moves.
Let's hope so. Not a lot of big-name free agents in this year's class coming up, so hard to say where the Cardinals will go. But then again, they don't usually get the big-name free agent in the offseason.
And by the way, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the Olympics, which have wrapped up. Great showing by the Americans. I didn't like the opening ceremonies too awful much, but I've watched more Olympics this year than I have in a long time. I'm especially impressed by the ping pong playing.
Oh my!
By the rock speed climbing.
Yeah.
The women's rugby. If you ever date a female rugby player, guys, treat her well, or you will pay the price. And water polo. I have watched a whole lot of Olympics.
Did you watch any breaking?
Did not watch the breaking competition, but I did watch the bicycling, the speed bicycling, and all the other extreme sports. I watched a lot of that too.
I know this is not my idea. I've heard many people talk about this, including a lot of comedians. Wouldn't it be cool if the Olympics were random? Instead of every country sending like their best athlete at each one of the events, they just have a random drawing, and every country gets whoever they get. And, you got like 70-year-old fat dudes doing synchronized swimming and,
Weighing in 5'10", weighing in at 247 pounds, wearing a Speedo. Here's your synchronized swimmer, Mark Toti. By the way, great comeback in the semifinal game for the men's basketball team.
They almost blew it.
I thought they were going to lose, down by 13 in the fourth quarter. Boy, they turned it on, and Seth Curry was Seth Curry, LeBron was LeBron. It was a fantastic finish. So all in all, good showing by the Americans.
First week of high school football, August 30th. North County Farmington is always the traditional Week 1 matchup. It's at North County this year, and Bryan Restoration has been doing these tailgating fundraisers for the last few years. And all you got to do is show up before the game, get some pulled pork, some drinks, and the money raised from this fundraiser goes to the Farmington CTA Cares, as well as the North County Backpack Program. So whether you're blue and gold or black and gold, doesn't matter. You're helping out your school, and you're helping out kids that might need a little extra food on the table during these rough times. And Bryan Restoration has teamed up with many businesses to help get this event going, including Unico Bank, Midwest Cajun Company, Save a Lot, First State Community Bank, and several others. And usually, too, like they'll challenge other businesses. I know they've challenged other restoration businesses in the past and had a lot of fun with this.
Didn't they do that a couple of years ago and they ended up raising a whole boatload of money?
Yeah. And then they talked about it on like some national radio show, and they called him Reggie Abuchan because they don't know how to pronounce people's names around here, but that's okay.
Even more importantly, you'll be on the Parkland podcast this year.
Yay, there you go. So again, that's happening before the North County Farmington game, which will be at North County this year on August 30th. Are you ready for a cool song recommendation? What's a cool song you've been thinking about?
Oh, my gosh. I've been listening to it all week because every time it ends, I start it over. It's so good. It's The Outlaws, a great 70s and 80s kind of a country rock group. They have a song called Green Grass and High Tides Forever. The song is 10 minutes long, and it's highlighted by 2 extended dual guitar licks. If you love a good guitar lick along the lines of a Leonard Skinner, Sweet Home Alabama and Freebird, or a Led Zeppelin Stairway to Heaven, check out Green Grass and High Tides Forever. It's a fabulous tune. It pays homage to rock and roll stars who left us way too early, like Jim Morrison and Janis Joplin. But it is a fantastic, fantastic song. You won't hear it on pop radio. You'll only hear it on like album-oriented rock and roll stations because it's like almost 10 minutes long. And my album pick for today is a very old Dan Fogelberg album. I don't know if you can even see this in the camera. It's called Captured Angel. This is when I first heard of Dan Fogelberg, who left us way too early, I might add. But the song Captured Angel is just a fabulous, fabulous tune. And there's another song on this album that folks will really like called Man in the Mirror.
Okay.
And Dan Fogelberg.
I'm talking to the man in the mirror. I knew Michael Jackson covered that.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not quite the same song there. But anyway, a lot of great songs by Dan Fogelberg over the years, including one called Illinois. And every time I hear the song Illinois, I have always thought that if Tim McGraw ever wanted to do a cover song from another artist, that would be a great tune because it just matches his voice so well. So there you go. Dan Fogelberg, Captured Angel. And, of course, Green Grass and High Tides Forever from The Outlaws.
All right, so I'm going to go with the cool tune called Baker's Street.
Good tune.
And it was written and performed by Jerry Rafferty, released in February of 1978. Love this song. It was covered by the Foo Fighters in the late 90s. I don't know if you ever heard their cover of that tune.
Never heard their cover, but I love the saxophone riff on Baker Street.
Oh, man. And the guitar solos are really cool, too. And it's kind of in the era of like a Dan Fogelberg, where it was a big soft rock kind of hit of the late 70s. But then it gets into some pretty intense, cool guitar solos, and I really, really dig on it.
Now, Jerry Rafferty was also a member of the group Steelers Wheel.
Yes.
Which is famous for the song
Stuck in the Middle with You.
And I'm trying to remember the Quentin Tarantino movie that
Pulp Fiction.
No, it wasn't Pulp Fiction.
It's Pulp Fiction. It's the scene where the guy's getting ready to cut his ear, and he's got him taped in there. Oh, that's Reservoir Dogs. I'm sorry, you're right.
Reservoir Dogs,
My bad.
yes.
You're correct.
And he's like dancing and cutting his ear off and stuck in the middle with you. So gross, so disturbing, but it's so fitting. It was great.
He looks at it, he goes, do you listen to T. Billy's Super Sounds of the 70s? Right as he's getting ready he pulls out his razor. Oh, yeah.
That's what we need to do on another podcast is do our favorite Quentin Tarantino movie.
Oh, man. That's tough. Okay, so for album, and I apologize, the record player is covered up again and stuff, and I couldn't reach down in there. I talked about this song, I believe, either last week or 2 weeks ago, Hook by Blues Traveler, and then I found out that Midwest Mixtapes, which is another great podcast here on the Barn Network, is interviewing members of Blues Traveler, and that podcast will be released very, very soon. So I wanted to pay homage to that 1994 album, which features the song Hook, and that is 4. And of course, that was Blues Traveler's biggest album. And really, and you'll hear more about this kind of on the interview, after this album came out, they decided that they were done with pop songs and they were just going back to their roots. And I mean, that's what they've kind of been rolling with the last few years and have rededicated their following. I'm very curious, though. I mean, I would assume they have to play Hook and Run Around and those hits. I don't know, because the hardcore fans obviously like more of the library. Your casual fans obviously want to hear the song. How do you do that as an artist?
I don't know, but I love Blues Travelers, seeing them in concert. I think we talked about this last week. They just really go with it. If you've never had the chance to see Blues Traveler in concert, do so. And was it John Popper on the harmonica?
Yeah, John Popper's amazing.
It's a great group. Great songs.
Yeah, so there you go for my album of the week. Oh boy, we got to pick out another follower for our Save a Lot giveaway, brought to you by our local Save-A-Lots of the Parkland. They are in Bonne Terre, Potosi, Park Hills, and Farmington, and DeSoto. And again, they're giving us a $20 gift card to give away at every episode of the Parkland podcast. So what we do is we pick from one of our almost 3,000 followers now, Mark.
That's right. Follow us. You could win free stuff.
And let's see. It looks like Lacey Strawn, who it says here works at Southern Charm Salon and Aesthetics by Lacey.
Cool.
I guess she's the Lacey and Lacey Strawn, I assume.
Hi, Lacey.
You win. Congratulations, and we'll shoot you a message and let you know which Save-A-Lot of the Parkland to pick that up. All right, next episode, we got Andy Sherrill, the principal of St. Paul High School. He's calling in on his first day of school, isn't he? Or maybe the second
He's
day.
coming by.
He's coming by on his first day of school. Wow, boy, I hope it's not too hard on him.
He can handle it. He's got big shoulders.
He does. And very excited about
Ursula Warren.
Ursula Warren, one of the biggest fans of the Parkland podcast ever. Tremendous interview every time, whether it was talking about the Farmington Chamber of Commerce or the Farmington Senior Center or other ventures that she's been involved with. Ursula has always been so cool to both of us, and looking forward to seeing her again, too.
That's coming up on the next Parkland podcast.
Episode 11, believe it or not. All right, folks, be sure to like and subscribe on the Facebook page. Hit that download button when you're getting your podcast ready to listen to.
Tell your friends. Tell your friends' friends. And if you're a business out there, get a hold of us. We'd love to talk to you about advertising your business on the podcast.
Absolutely. Until then, have a great week.